Right? What the heck is going on? Come on now.
All right. Who it is? Hey, Jesse.
Welcome to. We are. These stupid thing. Okay, we got it. I got it, Dave. Welcome to the episode 19 of Dugout Podcast. Let's try that again. Welcome to episode 19 of the Dugout Podcast Crew. Dugout Crew Podcast. Boy,
hey, he got
thanks
it.
a lot, David, for putting me in charge. Okay. Welcome to episode 19 of the Dugout Crew Podcast. I am filling in for Mr. David St. Dennis on David 3000 Network. Eric Lima here filling in for him. And, of course, we get our two panelists, big baseball fans, and Mr. Joey Acacia representing the Oakland Athletics.
Who are still fairly not bad. I admit they lost to the Dodgers 7-3 and 10-1, but I'm more interested in the fact that the commissioner is listening now. Because, we're just doing intros. I'm sorry. Hello,
That's
folks.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to just say hi and how you
Yeah,
doing.
no, we're just doing intros at this point. I don't want to overshadow you two. Go ahead.
All right. And representing the defending world champion, the Houston Astros, Mr. Jesse Ortiz, Mr. AKA Jesse Havoc. Jesse, what's going on, my man? What's the good word?
Not much is going on, but I know there was a big trade involving Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander landing.
I'll tell you one thing,
back
Texas,
to the Stros.
They say everything. Yep, that's true. Everything is big in Texas, they say, and having no two in Texas is going to be crazy. Speaking of which, we will get to the news reports that David has sent me here. We'll start with the injuries. White Sox Liam Hendricks. This is going to be a heartbreaker after he came back from cancer. He's undergoing Tommy John surgery and out until 2025.
Oh, come on.
I know.
Dude.
You're having a good day, aren't you, Joey?
Hey, I'm doing better than the A's are right now, okay?
Yeah,
Well, it doesn't help matters that was a Kelly Green bottle that dropped, so that doesn't help much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just go ahead.
Yeah, Tommy out until 2025. That's going to hurt the White Sox. So that's their best closer ever. So I think the White Sox in the offseason may need a closer until Mr. Hendricks comes back.
And let's get rid of Kimbrel not too long ago, so that just complicates it even more.
Yeah, it's like you should kept Kimbrel around, you dingbats. Anyways, speaking of former Red Sox pitchers, Nathan Eovaldi for the Rangers on the 15-day IL with a right forearm strain. So that's but timing couldn't be more perfect because let's get to the Cubs lose Marcus Stroman has been placed on the IL with right hip inflammation. That's going to hurt the Cubbies a little bit. And Bo Bichette, who's been one of their best hitters on that Blue Jays offense, has been placed on the 10-day IL with a right knee patellar tendonitis. I think when he rounded first base, when he got that base hit, and he came up lame, I think he got out.
He was already injured because in that same at bat that he got the base hit on, and he tried to go for two.
Yeah,
he was visibly limping in the batter's box, and the trainer, and I'll touch up on this again later, because that is bull if the trainer didn't even go out and look at him. If your batter is hurt, because Pasquantino, he hit that home run for the Royals a couple months ago. He tore a muscle in his arm. He kept running the bases, and then when he got to the dugout, they found out he tore his thoracic outlet. So he needed surgery. But still, you need to check on your players. I forget who the manager of the Blue Jays is, but that's Bush League. You got to keep an eye on your players, especially young guys.
All right, continuing on. Cardinals Brendan Donovan will will go season-ending surgery on his right arm. That's a tough loss for the Cardinals there. Angels Taylor Ward on a 60-day IL after being hit by the pitch and suffering multiple facial drafters.
He got hit where he got hit right here, right about the eye, and he was bleeding. It was almost as bad as Bryce Flory when he took the line drive off his face.
I remember Bryce
blood.
Yeah, Bryce Flory. I will never forget that. Then Jonathan India for the Reds, 10-day IL with a left foot plantar fasciitis.
Has to do with the kind of like plantar fasciitis.
Fasciitis. Thank you very much. I want to make sure I get that right. Thank you. And the Blue Jays, Jordan Romano has been placed on the 15-day IL. I don't know what for, but the Blue Jays got a couple of players on the IL that could hurt their chances of trying to advance in the division. So here's the accomplishments and Shohei Ohtani. This guy, I'm telling you right now, you're talking about paying the man money. I'll tell you one thing: people want to pay this guy money in the offseason. He throws a complete game shutout in game one, then hits a league-leading 37th home run in the second game. Is there anything this guy cannot do? Unbelievable. That's why he's one of my favorite players outside the Red Sox. And Justin Verlander, this is an interesting situation, earns a 250th save. When is he ever a closer? Might I digress? 200 strikeouts for Spencer Strider. Was a strikeout, and his 200 strikeout was striking out Ohtani. How cool is that?
Well, he broke his own record. Just to go on that. He broke his own record. Fastest to 200 in a season.
Yeah.
And he had, and I think they said, and I don't think he'll break his own record again. 123 in the third innings. 200 strikeouts. The Major League record, 383. Do I think he's going to touch that this season? No. Do I think he can get 300? The last person to have 300 was Chris Sale, I believe.
Yeah, Chris Sale was very. Let's see, 383. Was that Nolan Ryan? May have said that.
Yeah,
right?
that was Nolan Ryan, and it's a weird consequence about that because I think it was Bob Feller. No, it wasn't Bob Feller. I know Randy Johnson came very close in 2001 or 2002. He almost caught Nolan Ryan, but he finished just about 160 short of 5,000 for his career.
Yeah,
that would have really been insane. Only left did he get that many anyways.
So Spencer Strider, 200 strikeouts. Astros frame Fernando Valdez throws a no-hitter with Captain Martin Maldonado cut his third no-hitter, which is third most in MLB history.
I toast to him.
Yeah, so no-hitter, congratulations. Fernando Tatis Jr. becomes the fourth fastest player to hit 100 home runs with 362 games. Hey, good for him. And Ronald Acuna Jr. for the Braves. Once again, he strikes again, has stolen 50 bases. Who's going to catch that guy?
I'm a little salty about that right now because the A's have a guy named Ruiz. He hurt his arm right around the All-Star break. He hasn't come back yet. He's on rehab. He had 20 more saves than the next closest person in the American League. Not saves, steals. And he had more than Acuna, and now Acuna has passed him by like 7. That's a bitter pill to swallow there.
All right, for the trade deadline, because we recently had a trade deadline over the weekend. David Robinson. I think he meant to say Robertson.
Yeah, Robertson. That's a journeyman closer.
The Admiral is coming back. He's never playing basketball. He's got to pitch.
I was going to say, that'd be kind of scary to see the Admiral like this. 7'1", staring you down, and you see that face, and you're just like, you back out of the batter's box about 6 inches. You're like, no.
John Crook, anybody? We have a John Crook with Randy Johnson, which is really, I think David Robertson, not Robinson. Well, is going to the Marlins, which is very interesting. He's been
just about everywhere. I think that's team number 10 for him in his career.
Yeah. Astros, they bring back Kendall Graveman from the White Sox. So that, and Astros, the defending world champs, got him back. Max Scherzer, you're talking about him, Jesse, earlier on, heading to Texas Rangers. With Evaldi on the 15-day IL, you bring in Max Scherzer. And once Evaldi comes back, I think Texas has got a pretty good chance of going to the playoffs at this rate.
I think I'd rather have Evaldi at his stage. I know he's hurt, but Evaldi is still a great pitcher at his age.
Yeah. I think when he comes back with Scherzer, I think it's going to be.
I think Texas is now the new favorite to win the pennant. Not quite the World Series, but the pennant.
The pennant, I get you there. Braves get infielder Nicky Lopez from the Royals, but pitcher Taylor Hearn. Hearn was just traded by the Rangers to the Braves on Monday. He made one appearance Saturday. Now he's off to Kansas City. Imagine that. Taylor Hearn. I feel for him. Oh, okay. I'm playing for the Braves. Oh, pitched one game. I did pretty good. Wait, we're trading you to Kansas City. What?
Well, that's it. You want to know what the record is for more teams played for in a season? I think it's 4 or 5. The last one to do it was Jose Bautista in 2004. He played for the Orioles, the Pirates, the Royals, and one other team I can't think of right now. But yeah, no, that was 2004 before he went on 6 years later and hit 54 home runs. So good things come to those who wait. I'll show you.
All right. Also, now Angels announced they acquired outfielder Randall Grichuk, infielder C.J. Cron, and cash considerations from the Colorado Rockies in exchange for minor league pitchers Mason Albright and Jake Madden. No relation to John Madden, I don't think. So, and the Brewers acquiring Carlos Santana from the Pirates. That will help their lineup a little bit. And the Marlins, acquiring David Robertson from the Mets. But the Dodgers are getting back Joe Kelly. We made that face to the Astros. And Lance Lynn from the White Sox. And like I said, Astros acquired Kendall Graceman from the White Sox. Rangers trade Max Scherzer from the Mets for Luis Angel Acuna. And the Mets will pay all of $22.5 million of Scherzer's contract. So,
and the best part of that deal, Eric, the Acuna name, that's Ronald's younger brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's Luis Acuna is Ronald Acuna's younger brother. And that's the best part. Now the Mets have an Acuna of their own. He's 21. He's just as young and just as talented as his brother. So that is going to be sibling rivalry, and I'm all for it.
Okay. Then the Cardinals trading reliever Jordan Hicks to the Blue Jays. To the Blue Jays for righty pitching prospects Adam Kloffenstein and Sam Robertsi. What a name, Kloffenstein. What a name. Hey, Kloffenstein, get in there. What's your name again? I use it Frankenstein? No, it's Kloffenstein. Whatever. Anyways, Cardinals trade Jordan Montgomery to the Rangers in exchange for Thomas Sagasi, Tiki Roby, and John King. Minor league players.
Well, I hate to say this, but I think the Rangers are a little spoiled now when it comes to pitching.
Yeah, I think so. Rockies trade C.J. Cron and outfielder Randall Grichuk for Mason Albright and Jake Madden. Tampa Bay Rays acquiring Aaron Savali from the Cleveland Guardians in exchange for Kyle Manzanardo. Okay. The Arizona Diamondbacks acquiring Paul Sewald from the Seattle Mariners. The Milwaukee Brewers acquired Mike Kenya from the New York Mets in exchange for Justin Jarvis. Chicago Cubs acquiring Heimer Candelario from the Washington Nationals. The Giants acquiring A.J. Pollock and Mark Matthews from the Mariners. The Atlanta Braves acquiring Brad Hand from the Colorado Rockies. All right. Oh, boy. The Padres are going to go at it again. They trade starting pitcher Rich Hill and first baseman G-Man Choi to the San Diego Padres. G-Man Choi can hit the ball. You got Rich Hill who can still pitch at his age.
Dick Mountain. You got to say it right. He's Dick Mountain. That was his player nickname.
Who would that be? Rich Hill?
Yeah,
that
was his name.
I get it. Dick Mountain. I get it. You are.
He did that himself for Players Weekend.
Well, we had.
That sucks because the dude's like 43. He don't care anymore.
And here's the funny part. You got strange names too. You get Rich Hill. You got Dick Pole back in the day for the Red Sox. You got Rusty Kuntz for the Tigers. So
yeah, Dickie Thon too.
Dickie Thon. So many players with strange names. It's hilarious. Yeah. So they got the Pirates received left-handed pitcher Jackson Wolf, outfielder Estuaro Serrero, and first baseman Alfonso Rivas. I believe they're minor leaguers. And Cleveland's Aaron Savali to the Rays, Paul Sewell from Seattle to Arizona. The Blue Jays acquiring Paul DeJong from the Cardinals. So I heard he's pretty good. Astros received Justin Verlander of $35 million, $17.5 million more if his 2025 option vests. Mets received Drew Gilbert, outfielder Ryan Clifford, and they designated Trey Mancini for assignment.
No. That's one of the. I don't even think he's been that bad this season. Of all the players you want to designate for assignment after all that, you pick Trey Mancini, a cancer survivor. You got to rethink
Actually, the Cubs. Looks like the Cubs.
Yeah, the Cubs have a bad history with players, though.
And the Cubs did that same thing. Trey Mancini.
Oh God, he's negative 1.3 WAR. That's probably why.
Anyways, the Marlins acquired Jake Berger from the White Sox, so they got a burger now.
Yeah, they're gonna start selling fish burgers.
Yeah, fish burgers. Why fried fish burger? Rangers acquiring Austin Hedges from the Pirates.
That's a good pickup. Hedges is not a good hitting catcher, but he's a good framer.
Yeah, and I think that's going to help the pitching wise. Diamondbacks acquiring Tommy Pham from the Mets. The Mets receive 17-year-old shortstop prospect Jeremy Rodriguez. Wow, the Mets are going to be spoiled in the prospects. Baltimore Orioles acquiring Jack Flaherty from the St. Louis Cardinals. And the Yankees are acquiring Kenyon Middleton from the White Sox. The Marlins got themselves a little bit of offense as Josh Bell goes from Cleveland to the Miami, Florida Marlins. And Braves added Brad Hand from the Colorado to the bullpen. Paul DeJong going to Toronto. Michael Lorenzen is going to Philly from Detroit. Arizona, Andrew Chafin goes to the Brewers. The Cubs designated for assignment Trey Mancini. Colton Wong has been designated for assignment by Seattle. Garrett Cooper goes to the Padres alongside Sean Reynolds in exchange for left-handed pitcher Ryan Weathers. Red Sox acquire Luis Urias from it's the Brewers, not the Dodgers. Okay, so the Dodgers acquire Ryan Yarborough from the Kansas City Royals. Scott Barlow from they got to the Padres from Kansas City, and the Mets Luke Voigt opted out of his contract with them. So I think Luke Voigt may I don't know what was looking for a power hitter. Luke Voigt could be. In other news, the New York Yankees announced that Domingo Germán agreed to voluntarily submit to inpatient treatment for alcohol abuse and will be on a restricted list for the remainder of the season. That's going to hurt the Yankees. That's going to hurt the Yankees, man.
I'm going to shut up right now because you already know what I'm going to say, and you know what I want to say. But it's not about what he did. It's about something else. Ever since he's thrown that perfect game, he hasn't been the same pitcher. Because it happens to just about every pitcher. The Yankees haven't been the same team. Germán has been the same pitcher. A perfect game. It'd be good for you like it was for Randy Johnson, who was 40. He was older. It didn't matter. Germán?
Yeah.
Pitcher.
Yeah.
And now he's hitting the alcohol. Now he's hitting the bottle. So, yeah, no, he's official. He's not falling off the wagon, but he needs to get on the water wagon so he can actually get back
to all that. I think domestic abuse situations, and possibly I'm sure the internet is probably getting on his case about it. That's probably driving him to drinking. I'm sure he probably wants to quit and to that. Speaking of the Yankees, also Aaron Judge is back in the Yankees lineup since the Orioles series. So that is the news for
Well,
so,
I hate to say it, but it's kind of good that Jason isn't here. The
yeah.
Mets absolutely went on a fire sale at the All-Star break. They gave up Canner to the Brewers. They gave up Verlander to the Astros, so I'm sure Jesse's very happy about that because they got the number one prospect from the Astros, whatever his name was, and they got some guy named Clifford, who was their number 4 prospect. But one of the trades you actually missed, there was 2. So Fujinami ended up getting traded way back when for a prospect for the A's.
All right.
And then Sam Moll went from the A's to the Reds for Joe Boyle.
Yeah. Oh, good thing. David must have missed those because David was the one that gave me the information.
I know. So, I asked the kid if he took his. I asked David if they gave him his Flintstone vitamins. He said no. I gotta eat my Flintstone chewable.
Flintstone chewable. I like the orange kind. When I was a kid, man, Flintstone chewables, give me an orange. I'd be happy.
That reminds me of the old commercials where they show like a kid. There was a baseball commercial where a kid was eating M&Ms and he said, "I eat the green ones to hit home runs." And he says, I got 2 left. I need 1 more for me. Kid goes and smacks the ball over the fence.
Yeah.
Little chocolate candies.
Yeah. Anywho, now it's time to talk about our teams. And Joey, since you have not been around for quite a while, it was a couple weeks, and you had to work. I'll let you go first. So what's up with those Rays?
Losing pitchers left and right. To tell you the truth, Kaprelian's out for the season.
Keep talking.
Yeah, Kaprelian's out for the season, so that's 1. I have a list. To go down, and I have to look up how many pitchers they have out for the year, because this happened in the last few weeks. I think I talked about it last time I was here. Yaxel Reyes out for the season. James Kaprelian out for the season. Zach Jackson's probably out for the. David, I see you on Discord. Don't lie to me now. But yeah, no, the A's have had a lot of pitchers out. The A's have a lot of pitchers out for the year right now because injury bug has just plagued them. Something fierce. I know it's not easy being a team that's 30-79. They have 30 wins. I think that's a bit more successful than more teams thought they would be. 30-79 is not the worst you could be. I looked up a team just today because I have a TikTok. I like looking at that stuff for most baseball things. There was a team, I forget which league they said they were in, but they were called the Austin Weirdos. You want to know what their record was this season?
The Austin.
They played 48 games. They went 1-47.
Damn.
Ouch. Yeah, that's why they call themselves the Weirdos.
7 losses. Their team ERA over that span was a 17.28. And they lost 38 in a row to finish out the season. They lost 9 in a row, their first 9, won their 10th game, lost the next 38 games. That just goes to show not every team is going to be good. Yes, the A's have had an 11-game losing streak. Yes, they're 49 under 500. Are they going to be worse than the Tigers of 2003? Probably not. Do they have plenty of good players? Yes, they do. A couple weeks ago, I went over Tony Kemp and how he was hitting 148. He shut me up. He shut me up for sure. Yes, he's only hitting 217. He almost made a play last night in a 9-1 ball game. A ball was hit by Freddie Freeman. I forget who was pitching at the time for the A's, but Freeman hits a ball down the left field line. Kemp goes over. He leaps almost into the seats. Doesn't catch the ball. It barely went off his glove. He slams ribs first into that side wall down the left field line at Dodger Stadium. Fan checks on him and everything because his head off the fans. The fan was a large man, so he had some cushioning at least. But, he bounces off the guy, and he hangs there a little bit because he slammed hard. I don't think he broke it. They said the x-rays were negative and everything after the game, but I want that man in my foxhole, to tell you the truth. A man that's willing, he's increased his average by, let's see, 71 points. No, 69 points in his last month and a half after hitting 148. Yes, this team is 30 and 79. Do I blame the players? No. Do I blame the fact that the owner didn't bring in enough talent, the general manager saying that they brought in enough talent? They still trade away players. And to tell you the truth, I never really liked Jace Peterson anyways. Jace Peterson was another member trade away from the A's. But the interesting part is, I think her name is Sheng Tao, the Oakland mayor. She said as a vote of confidence for the A's, they wanted Jace Peterson traded away because Jace Peterson wanted him to go play in Vegas. He's flipped to Arizona. I see a glimmer of hope with the A's, maybe, just maybe, staying. But I don't know if you two have heard about this, but I talked about the reverse boycott on the 13th of June. The All-Star game in Seattle. Sell the team. Sell the team. Just the other day in San Francisco. 2 games in San Francisco. The whole crowd. All together. 40,000 people at AT&T Park chanting, sell the team, so loud over the broadcast. Neither radio broadcast or TV broadcast said a word for at least 30 seconds. You ever hear what a concert sounds like when there's that many people just cheering and everything?
Yeah, I've been to concerts before.
That, as a result of a stupidly inadequate, as a stupid and inadequate owner should think, hey, why should I care? Well, you've got these fan bases, and just the other day in Dodger Stadium for Game 1, just as loud. They're doing a Sell the Teams tour. The Summer of Sell, the A's fans are calling it. I'm on board. I'm willing to buy and sell the team shirt. I will come on here potentially next week and wear one of those shirts. Solidarity is how you get far. The team's 49 games under 500. These fans still care. 2 days from now, the A's face the Giants at home. You want to know how much tickets are going for at the lowest right now? Not normally. $44 for that game. A ticket. Now, I'm not saying not necessarily the games aren't very expensive for the Giants series, but the A's front office was accused of upping the ticket prices on purpose. I wonder why. This goes to show you. John Fisher's not scared. Rob Manfred's not scared. But if they're coming together in solidarity, like the Dodgers fans did and the A's fans did and the Giants and the A's fans did, this is a movement. You either sell the team or people are going to keep chanting it. And this ain't just some three-word, this is a three-word chant that will not stop until he does something. Because recently, they tore up the plans. Not tore up as in they're not going to do it anymore, but they showed plans on what the stadium's going to look like for the A's. Beautiful stadium, but they said, no, wad them up, throw them out. 9 acres. Just remember, Oakland offered 50-plus acres. That's a lot of it. That's a lot of space. They offered funding. And John Fisher said, nah, we don't want it. 9 acres in Las Vegas. It just shows that greed is what's wrong with baseball. Bad ownership is what's wrong with the sport. I'm looking at you, dead man Sterling of the Clippers, because that's on a whole new level of bad ownership. Marge Schott is another one. Al Davis and his son, bad owners. You want to talk about the fact that you're trying to sell a team that has tried their hardest to try and get and not make things hard for you as a $6 billion net worth owner? You got to get your head out of the clouds, dude. You may be on cloud 9, but unfortunately, his grave is either going to be watery or 6 feet deep.
Or people are going to take
baseball team.
Dumps on his grave.
Yeah. That's exactly what's going to happen. It's like, and Eric will get this one. Jim Cornette wants to put this on Russo's grave. He wants to be old enough to piss on Russo's grave. And I'm hoping John Fisher sells out of fear. Not out of spite, out of fear. Because he is an idiot. And he doesn't know what he's talking about. Doesn't know anything about baseball. Doesn't know anything but business, economics. He does have morals and values. That's for damn sure. That's all I got.
All right. Jesse, what's going on with the defending world champs?
The defending world champs, the latest news in their transactions. On August 2nd, Ronel Blanco was recalled from AAA Sugarland for spot start Wednesday. Left-handed pitcher Matt Gage option to AAA. And then here's the August 1st. The Astros acquire right-handed pitcher Justin Verlander and cash from the Mets in exchange for minor league outfielders Drew Gilbert, Ryan Clifford, minor league infielder Joe Perez. So Joe Perez is gonna be designated for assignment. So and then on the 60-day, it's still on the injury updates, still on the 60-day injured list. Jose Urquidy, right shoulder inflammation. Expected return early August. And then Michael Brantley, we don't know if he's going to come back.
That's a big loss for Houston, too.
Yeah.
He kills just about everybody. Ever since he got brought over from Cleveland, he's been a cornerstone of that Houston lineup, too.
Yeah. Reminds me of what happened with the Astros had Bagwell in 2005 when Bagwell's struggling with that shoulder problem which ultimately ended his career. Let's just hope that's not the same for Michael. So the Astros are tied for first. They're one game behind the Texas Rangers, which is a good thing. And we're going to recap the games for this week. The Astros on July 28th the Rays beat the Astros 4-3, and then the Astros came back on the 29th to whoops the Rays butts 17-4, and the Rays came back and won 8-2, which has that series the Astros lost. And then we got the Guardians on the 31st. The Astros beat them 7-3. The Guardians lost again on the 1st of August, 2-0. And the Astros managed to scrape by yesterday with a 3-2 game. And then tonight at 6 o'clock, we take on the Yankees. So we should be able to give the Yankees some problems. It's a 4-game series. And that's pretty much what I got so far.
To tell you the truth, I think Boston will not finish in the bottom half of their division. I think Toronto's going to slide back. I think Toronto is going to effectively slide back, and the Red Sox are going to make it there. Astros probably going to end up I see a game 163 coming up between the Astros and and the Rangers. It's going to be that close. I know I'm probably wrong, but I feel like it's going to be that close. Just that game 163 is going to be Scherzer versus Verlander, though. You can't do it any differently than that.
Well, that is a Verlander, and yeah, if you put them together, they'd be Sherlander. But
I know, Shoulda-lander. That's what happened.
Oh, the Astros got the. I think the Astros fans love Kate Upton. That could be another reason why.
I know. You wonder why, right? Should walk around in just an Astros jersey around his house. That's why he likes it so much.
Lucky bastard marrying that one.
Yeah.
But I gotta tip my hat to him for that. So is that it, Jess?
That's pretty much it.
Okay, about my Red Sox. I'll tell you one thing. Speaking of the Red Sox, and I'm glad you was kind of segued into that. They had a tough road trip. I mean, you go up against the Giants, and basically drop 2 of 3 because of back-to-back walk-offs. So, and it seems like the bullpen's been having a little bit of problems. Then you got Seattle. Seattle, a team that, they're okay. But losing 2 or 3 against them, going for a road trip of 2 and 4. I tell you, the Red Sox need to pick up something. They have with some key players injured from, like I said, the Yankees and Blue Jays. Red Sox need to have an opportunity to really strike while the iron's hot and try to get like you said, Joey, get out of that basement there. And like I said, that AL East, I said it time and time again, it's been flip-flopped over the years since the beginning of 2020, since the beginning of the 20s. Because it's usually the Red Sox, Yankees battling for first place, Toronto staying in the middle, and Baltimore and Tampa Bay at the bottom. Unlikely now.
I think over the last 15 years, the dynamic has changed because after 2007, where the Red Sox won the World Series, I think just about every team in that division has won the division once. Toronto won it once, I think. In the mid-2010s, Boston's won it more than a few times. Yankees have won it more than a few times.
Yeah.
I think the Orioles have won it once and only once, and I think that was in, 2014? Am I wrong? I'm probably wrong, but they had that one really good year where Delman Young just went off in the playoffs for him. So, that's a
Delman Young. Every time I think of him, I'm thinking of when he got ejected from when he was playing for the Durham Bulls at the time.
Yeah, flung the bat and hit the umpire on the chest.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds.
Yeah. I remember that video as vivid. It's 16 years now since he did that, and somehow he turned out better than Elijah Dukes. No, don't look up Elijah Dukes, kids. That's bad for you.
Oh yeah, don't
no, he's been in and out of jail for the last 10 years, so don't look at him.
Don't look at him. Anyways, so Red Sox will be playing the Blue Jays coming up though, but Trevor Story will not return to the team, and that soon though. He said he's gonna keep rehabbing for Worcester. So David, if he goes to any of the games, he'll probably have an opportunity to see him a little bit more. He hasn't suffered any setbacks. Went 1 for 5 on an RBI double, 3 strikeouts on Wednesday while playing 7 innings at shortstop. And totally,
I think David just has a pocket full of quarters. So every time he wants to go to a game, they just say, "Here, little boy, you can go in for free. You're under 18."
Yes. Now between his rehab stuff, he is at 241 with 3 homers, 2 doubles, 7 RBIs, and a 9.992 OPS. In 10 rehab games between AA and AAA. That's not bad. He's still in strength training mode, but I know he threw it out there to you guys that Friday was his goal. We'll see how it goes. It's not in black and white. He'll be with us this weekend, but it's getting closer. I'm starting to think that next week, he'll probably be back. If that's the case. And once he does, because he did miss Tommy John surgery on a throwing elbow in mid-January. So when he returns, he'll serve as Boston's starting stop, displacing Yu Chang. So, and Yu Chang has done pretty good for the team. So I'm thinking. So let's see. Let's see if I can get. See, we got. I know we got games against. Uh, let's see what games does. Let's see, Red Sox games. Red Sox schedule. All right, here schedule. Okay. Okay, we got a 3-game series at Fenway against the Blue Jays, and then the Royals come into town next week for a 4-gamer, and Detroit's coming in for a 3-game series. That's so we got a 3-4-3 that we a 10-game homestand, and then the Red Sox go to Nationals for a 3-game, and then it'll be the Yankees. That would be 2 weeks from tomorrow for a 3-game series there. And then we got, and Jesse, looks like starting August 21st, the Red Sox got your defending world champs in their turf, Minute Maid Park, for a 4-game series as well. Then the 2018 rematch of the World Series, almost closing out August, when the Red Sox do face the Dodgers at Fenway Park. So that is it for my Red Sox. Let's see, any more things of baseball? Do you gents want to talk about?
So I wanted to go back to that topic about Bo Bichette being hurt and his back.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna grab my bat here for a second. When he swung,
mm-hmm.
he hurt his knee.
Right.
So when you see a guy and he swings and he hurts himself and he starts limping away, if I'm the manager of the team, I think I'm not falling asleep here. I'm not in the dugout like most of those managers are. Mm-hmm. They don't stay awake. That's why you see guys like Dusty Baker leaning on the dugout rail. They're like this with a bat in their hand because they used to be players. They're paying attention. 100% pay attention to your damn players. So in a situation like this, Bichette gets checked out. He gets credit for the hit, sure, but when he went to try for second base, his knee was already injured. I would have had him stay. I don't know why the first base coach didn't realize either. That's negligent for the first base coach of the Blue Jays, for their manager, Charlie Montoya. Hey, I actually remembered his name. But still, you got to pay attention to your players. If they're playing hurt, that's fine. Players used to do it all the time. But if their knee is so badly damaged that they're potentially going to be hurt for a long time, tell them to stop at first base. They don't need to hustle there anymore.
Send a pinch runner from. Yeah, I can understand.
It's okay. Stay at first base. Tell them you understand. You don't have to run on a bad knee. And you saw the way the clip went. He was holding his knee.
Yeah.
He got dragged out by Jorge Mateo. There's no way he would have made it to second base.
Would have been a dead duck there. But
well, he already was. When you get back, when you look at the clip, he's holding his knees like this because his knee's injured.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like, Katie Holmes. I don't know if the same Katie Holmes. Yeah, not just about baseball games. It's also about baseball news, because we're all baseball fans at one time. So
shout out to my friend Katie.
I'll be right back.
I don't know if that's the exact Katie Holmes. If it's the Katie Holmes, I'll be like, what? The actor from Dawson's Creek.
That's my friend from IMVU.
Okay. Welcome, Katie Holmes. And yeah, it's all about baseball. So she's a friend of yours. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome, Katie. Yeah. We talk about baseball, player acquisitions, injuries, and all that. We talk about our teams, what they've been doing, and what we've been doing. Yeah. And so usually our good friend, our host, David 3000 Network, aka David St. Dennis, would be on here, but he had a doctor's appointment. That's why he wasn't able to make it. So he's asked me to designate as a fill-in host for him, and I've been one of the panelists on here for quite a while.
You're not the worst host of a baseball show I've ever seen.
No. I try. No, I try my best to do the bring the show, make the show as good as I can. So,
I mean, if there's any good shows that I've known of baseball-wise, Baseball Tonight was always one of my favorites.
Yeah, I've always loved watching some baseball, like the baseball bloopers are been my favorites. I used to have a VHS tape of Baseball Funny Side Up. It was hosted by the late Tug McGraw and narrated by Mel Allen. Mel Allen. Now he was one of the best baseball narrators.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, that was one of my favorite scenes in Naked Gun, where it was him and I think it was him and Kurt Gowdy. The guy goes back to the wall, and he looks like he's going to catch the ball, and then his head fell off, and they showed it was a dummy.
Oh.
And then the guy's stone face, and Mel Allen's just like, how about that?
Yeah.
It was the funniest thing I've ever seen, because the other guy's like this. He's petrified.
Yes, I'm a celebrity. Don't ever forget it. LOL. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Katie. You finally had that joke. Katie. Unbelievable. We have a friend. You have a friend named Katie Holmes. It's crazy. It's imagine having the same name as a celebrity. Like, I don't know. Like somebody like I know there's a Dwayne Johnson besides The Rock out there somewhere.
Well, then there's Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, that's the actor. He probably got so many questions like, how's it like playing for the Bulls and all that good stuff? Right?
I can't imagine that, because who was it? Because there's been plenty of players who have had the same name. Like there was most recently another Francisco Rodriguez in baseball.
Oh, I remember. K-Rod. There's a guy that can. I'll tell you what thing. Until the Red Sox got into him offensively, he's one of the deadliest pitchers ever out there. Relievers.
2008 was one of his worst. No, it was 2007. Was one of his worst performances in the playoffs. That was because the Angels lost to the Red Sox in 04 and 07.
Yeah.
For some bizarre reason, and I remember this very clearly, even though it was 19 years ago in the playoffs, Jared Washburn was brought in to pitch the 10th inning. What does David Ortiz do? He pops one over the monster, and they sweep the Angels. Then they go down 3-1 to the Yankees.
3-0 to the Yankees.
Well, 3-0 to the Yankees after losing 19-8, and by some form of miracle, because of the big 1-5 saying, "Don't let us win tonight."
Kevin Millar. Love Kevin Millar.
And that's another one of my favorite bloopers is they played it on Intentional Talk. It's when he hit a line drive off the wall at Old Veterans Stadium, and you know how bad that turf was anyways. Yeah. Tomas Perez gets the ball at second base, and Kevin Millar does this. He goes, and he almost does a front somersault because his body crumpled when he went to sign to second base. Helmet went like this, hit the ground, helmet flies off. His back legs go like this, almost over his head. So he almost did a forward roll, and then he went like this to the side. And then Tomas Perez tagged him on the chest and asked him if he was okay. He looked like someone had just thrown him into the water, and he just nose-dived. And then there was the Tommy Lasorda incident in the 0-1 All-Star game. That was another one.
Oh, when the bat came flying at him, and he
Vladimir Guerrero fouls one off the shattered bat, and Tommy Lasorda almost does a back somersault. And Joe Buck doesn't always have his funny moments, but he says because Tommy's rolling on his back and he's about ready to go over, and he doesn't because he was so bottom heavy anyways. He says after that he gets a 9-8 for this, and all you see is his ass going up in the air.
I always got the joke Holmes, like Sherlock Holmes, because that's how it's spelled. Katie Holmes, like Sherlock Holmes, got some jokes. Yeah, you probably do detective work. Anyways, so many baseball funny moments in baseball.
Paul O'Neill.
Well, I would have when he kicked the
ball where it was Jeltz trying to score from third base. and Paul O'Neill fumbled the ball twice. He got so mad, he kicked the ball with his left foot and got it back into the infield to Benzinger.
Yeah, Benzinger. Todd Benzinger.
And one of my favorite lines from that was, "The Cincinnati Bengals are on the phone."
Was one of my favorite was Jose Canseco when he tried to catch a fly ball and he bounced off his head for a home run. I'm like, did that happen?
And then the commentators are like, "Look at this, boink,
boink!" and David Holtz.
That's 30 years.
Didn't that happen to Deion Sanders too?
Last week. The 30th anniversary was last week. That was a week ago. I think. Wait, now I have to look it up and see how long it's been because it happened in '93.
93.
It happened in
2003, so it had to be 30 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was July 26th, 1993. I think that's what it was.
Looking at him laughing too. There was like,
no, it was.
Was like, what the heck? What happened? And I can't believe.
No, he said the ball hit off his glove, not off his head.
Oh,
but that was a lie.
No, it hit off his head. It hit off his head. I mean, I'm glad Jose was okay after that, but I would remember Jose Canseco was brought in to pitch one time.
Oh God!
I think it was against the Red Sox. And I read the article. Roger Clemens had grabbed the bat and begged Butch. I think Butch Hobson was managing the Red Sox at the time. Roger Clemens was begging the manager to pinch hit. That's how funny it was. That's how funny it was. Jose.
Let me see. I'm looking.
I'm looking. Any more baseball bloopers because there were so many of them, and it was so hilarious.
May 26, 1993, the 30th anniversary was Carlos Martinez who hit the ball, and people forget Kenny Rogers pitched for the Rangers back in the 90s too.
Yeah, there's another one, Kenny Rogers. There's another guy with the same celebrity name.
Hold on. You got to know when to hold.
Know
when to hold.
Know when to
walk away. Know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. But Kenny Rogers, another one of those guys, because I feel bad for the guy. He went on to pitch a perfect game, and then he had that incident in 05 where he shoved the cameraman down and he was because he pitched so he was 43 too. I think he pitched from 1986 until 2008 because he pitched for Texas, Detroit, and Texas again. Because he pitched and played with guys with like Juan Gonzalez, Rusty Greer. Greer's the one who saved his perfect game. Oh man, there was a lot. But yeah, no, Canseco had 462 home runs. And I was gonna say this earlier. Fernando Tatis, performance enhancement was needed to hit some of those home runs. So he's another. I hate to say it, but like father, like son, he got it from McGuire. Because people forget 1999, Tatis Senior hit 2 grand slams in the same inning. Hit 34 home runs that season. Did he hit more than 34 the rest of his career? I don't believe so. Who was on the 99 Cardinals? Mark McGuire.
Oh, yeah.
But Kevin Kennedy was the man. So, oh my God, no. You want to know what's funny? You were just talking about him pitching against the Red Sox. The ball off his head and him pitching happened 3 days in between. He literally went on pitch 3 days later off the ball off his head in 93.
Oh, that's I did not know you did that. He pitched 3 days after that. That's Jose Canseco.
And then he missed 2 weeks because he got hurt. Because I'm looking at Wikipedia right now. He was out from May 31st until the 10th, played another 15 games, and then got shut down for Tommy John surgery.
Oh, well, yeah.
Where it rained, it poured for him that year. The ball off his head, the pitching incident, and he has to have Tommy John surgery after all that.
A lot of people make bad lists.
I can't. Well, who was it? Oh God, I'm trying to remember the guy, and it was one of the funniest things. The guy who stole first. It was Mitchell Mosby. That's who it was. He stole second base. He stole second base. Ball goes in the center field, and the announcer's like, "He stole second base, and now he's gonna go steal first, and then he's gonna go steal second again." So he stole 3 bases on one play all by himself. And it was the funniest thing. He slides head first into second base, sees the ball, he doesn't see where the ball is, and he goes and gets ready, gets back up, slides into first base, ball's over his head, another error. So there was an E2, an E4, an E3, and then he slides back into second base. He gets up all full of dirt and everything.
Boy.
An all-time classic, though. Do you know, and I know we've only got a few minutes left. Yeah. Rodney McRae. Do you know who that is?
Oh, my goodness. Dude. Who can forget that instant? Dude catches the ball, runs through the wall. Oh, my God.
He did not slow down either. I can't believe that.
I'm like, what? He did what? I was.
Because that was the thing back then was now all those walls are padded. It's not like back when Pete Reiser was playing where it was brick walls and they read him last rights 3 or 4 times on the field. Rodney McRae ran through a wooden fence.
A wooden fence.
And I don't even think he held onto the ball.
I don't know if he held on the ball. I really did.
Now I have to find out because that is insane that because I don't know who the batter was, but evidently it was somebody who did play. League, I think. I forget his name. Rodney McRae.
I know Rodney McRae. He was in the White Sox system too at that time. So
yeah, he did briefly play for the White Sox. Yeah, there it is. Rodney McRae. Because he went 3 for 14 in his career as a pinch hitter as a pinch runner and an outfielder. He played for the White Sox and a little bit for the Mets. He was 9 out of 10 in stolen bases. He had a pretty good career, albeit it was short. Yeah. But no, he is known now as the man who goes through walls. He doesn't walk. He can't walk through walls like a ghost, but he can walk through walls.
Run through walls. Runs through walls. That's a Native American name for him.
He who runs through walls. Yes.
Yeah, he who runs through walls. I'll tell you what. That's crazy. When I first saw that, I'm like, what? It's got to be in a minor league game because usually the minor leagues, not the major league walls that are padded nowadays, the minor leagues have like billboard walls and all that good stuff. All the wooden fences.
Oh. Okay, I didn't know that. Apparently there was a basketball player with the same name too, so there you go.
Rodney McRae?
Except he was 6'7".
6'7". All you got to do is one of these.
Well, the guy who I always wanted to kind of figure out was Darryl Strawberry. Because they used to go, Darryl. And that's how it used to be because I know Eric is a Simpsons fan. There's no way he's not.
Yeah. I like The Simpsons.
I know. The softball episode where he's and Bart are saying, Darryl. And then they're just like, oh, those baseball players ignore that and they don't feel it. He swipes a tear away. But Rodney McRae is got to be the best. It's not the best blooper. And they made a bobblehead. Out of that incident.
Oh my goodness.
That one is rare.
I'm not surprised, dude.
I have to find out who hit that ball, though. I have to find out because they said it was they didn't really tell you who it was.
Yeah.
Chip Hale. That was the A's bench coach. But yeah, no, that happened 32 years ago on May 27th. That happened a full 2 years before the Canseco incident.
Oh, my goodness. That's crazy. Well, we're just about out of time here. I want to thank 3 people who came in to watch our show. Thank you very much for tuning in. I want to thank Joey, Casey, and Mr. Jesse Ortiz. I want to thank his friend Katie Holmes. Not that Katie Holmes for all y'all, if you're thinking about that. But I'm sure
I'm in love with Katie Holmes. I'm in love with Katie Holmes. Oh, God, that crazy guy.
You're a crazy guy. So Katie Holmes, thank you for tuning in to the chat. I'm sure. I don't want to thank David St. Dennis for letting me host the show for him. He'll be back next week. I'm hoping to do so. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. So, well, I'll see you on the next. We'll all see you on the next episode of the Dugout Crew Podcast, episode 20. And hope your life. I hope that you hit a grand slam in your life. So have a great afternoon, rest of the afternoon, guys. Thank you for watching.
Goodbye.
Bye.